can't take this shit anymore.
So phones can be the best thing and the worst thing, all at the same time. For myself at least, I've noticed that a bunch of my time has gone sucked up into these applications, and I'm sick and tired of it. Here's how I fixed it though. Alright, so this video is going to be broken up into 3 main parts. First, the problem I was trying to solve, the crap ton of attempts that I had, and then the current setup that I have right now. Feel free to jump around the video, all of the timestamps are down below. Alright, let's jump right in. Alright, so here's the thing. I've struggled with the phone addiction for quite some time now, and to solve this, I tried doing notifications off for as long as I can remember. But it didn't solve the problem completely. So the main problem I'm trying to solve is I'll usually get the urge to check one of my social media apps, or I'll just instinctively open up the application. I'll tell myself it's only gonna be 5 minutes, I'll start scrolling, then it turns into 30 minutes, then I see the time and I'm like, oh crap, I just wasted so much time. I immediately use willpower to rip myself off of the application, and then immediately right after feel bad for myself that I screwed up and made the wrong decision. So what I'm trying to solve here is I'm trying to completely remove willpower from the situation. I don't want to waste my finite resource of that and spend it on something like getting myself off social media. I'd rather devote it towards something more productive. And here's the thing. Willpower is never going to win against the algorithms made by these huge tech companies. So there's no point in even really trying, in my opinion. Alright, so I have tried so many things. Here's what didn't work for me. 1, screen time on iPhone didn't work. I would easily just bypass these things and it became muscle memory. 2, blocker apps like freedom.to on mobile don't really work. They use your VPN, but they're not consistent. So sometimes they wouldn't work. And again, I would just bypass. Thirdly, I tried hiding the applications in a folder to again add friction so that I wouldn't go there. I just ended up using Spotlight search and just looked for the specific app. So didn't work either. And then lastly, I would take my phone and throw it in another room and close the door. But the thing is, the place I live in is not really that big, so it didn't work for me. So I would just easily walk over, get my device, continue doing what I wanted to do. And after attempting all this, I realized exactly what I needed. It had to be impossible for me to use these applications on my phone. I wanted to remove distractions from my life so that I could actually get deep work done. And I still wanted to use my phone for valuable stuff, like talking with friends and family and learning from audiobooks. And just like that, the solution had hit me smack in the face. But it wasn't that simple. So here's the exact setup that allowed me to quit my social media addiction. For starters, we gotta delete all of the apps we don't wanna be using. That means Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, Twitter, all of the stuff. If you really need to use them, you can go to your browser, but that's just gonna be a friction-full experience, which is what we want. While we're on the topic of browsers, I deleted Google Chrome off my device. I am a Google fanboy. I love what they do so much, but it had to be done for what we're gonna do right now. Then you're gonna go into screen time and actually turn on a content blocker and block the certain sites that you don't wanna be using. For my case, it was things like YouTube. Next, we're gonna go in and block the App Store. Meaning, if you wanna re-download an app, there's gonna be more friction there. You have to go, turn off the setting, then actually go to the App Store, then download it. Instead of just going, searching for the App Store, downloading it. I've done it a bunch of times. This is what's working for me at the moment. Then we can add a punishment, for example, a monetary version where if you do something you're not supposed to do, it's $10 or $100 or anything that you're willing to put up. Next, let's talk notifications. Everything should be on silent and only visible in the notification center. If you want to check it, you can pull down there. Also, remove previews so you're not able to actually read the message. If you got an iMessage, it just shows iMessage, not actually what's written there, because you can easily find yourself instinctively just pulling it down and starting to read your notifications. Not to mention, we want to turn on Do Not Disturb mode and airplane mode to kind of remove all of the inputs from our life while we're doing the deep work that we want to do. Then I turned on grayscale mode. Trust me, this one's weird. Just do it for at least a week and then revert back. You're gonna see how like bright and colorful your phone is and how it just sucks you in. The idea of making it grayscale just makes your phone way more boring and you're just less likely to want to use it. And also because I don't want to be doing any work on my phone, I also deleted those apps, so that means Slack, YouTube Studio. I just want my phone to be for the specific things that I mentioned before. And finally, this one's a little strange and it really shows how I like to take things to the next level. Basically, I took a phone case and taped it to the bottom of my desk, right at the back, so I actually put my phone in there. It's what I like to call locked mode. It's on my desk specifically at the bottom, just so I can still actually charge it, but there's a lot of friction to actually go down there and take it out. Trust me, it's not a fun process at all. It's really hard to actually rip it out. So, works great for me, because I can't actually put it in another room. It's just not as consistent for me. All I really got is bathroom and one room that I'm in at the moment. All right, so now I want to add some techniques that I think pair up really well to kind of help improve your relationship with using your phone. The first thing is going to be batching, and specifically towards direct communication with friends and family. What you can do is devote out 15 to say 30 minutes in a day, or say every other day, to sit down and properly just respond to each of the messages. I love this just because I can actually put time and energy into things and be thoughtful when I respond to people instead of just half-assing it. In my personal opinion, at the very top, the best form of communication is in person. Then we got video calls, then phone calls, then voice messages, then text messages at the bottom. So kind of results in me usually just responding in voice messages. Then I leave my phone in, again, what I like to call locked mode, until like around like 2 p.m. or just later into the afternoon, so I can really just have a morning where I'm distraction free and I'm just using my computer for doing work and kind of other stuff for my morning routine. And if you're someone that posts content online, it can be pretty difficult because you need to have these applications on your device to actually post these things, just because doing it on desktop completely sucks. So what I'd recommend is doing all the editing and everything in, say for example, an application like Lightroom on your desktop, then airdropping it over, re-downloading the app just for a minute or two, posting it, and immediately deleting it. Another approach that I really want to test out as well is going to be using a VA and actually just uploading it to a Google Drive folder, and they can basically do the rest. I'll let you know how that turns out. And finally, we've got the bonus tip of how I'm using Freedom to actually improve the productivity on my desktop. So what I've actually done is I've gone and got the Pro version. I think it's around a couple bucks a month. And what you can actually do is you can set reoccurring sessions. So I'll have a reoccurring session for my morning routine and my evening routine. And for example, for the morning, I'll be blocking all social media, all messaging, all stuff like that. And then for the evening, I'll actually go one level up and actually block all the applications as well, so they kill themselves and completely close at 9 o'clock, so I'm able to start my evening routine. And it's awesome, especially in the evening when you're kind of chilling out, starting a YouTube binge. It just completely cuts you out of the track and you're not able to use the apps. You can turn on some features that I'll show up on screen right now to actually make it impossible to close the application. So you literally can't use these devices, even if you uninstall Freedom, turn on and off your computer. It's great having that peace of mind, knowing that there's no loopholes. I just have to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is to go to bed, or to do the good habits, not the bad habits. So at this point, you're probably like, yo, this is a lot of information and you're a very extreme dude, man. Yeah, I know that. But anyways, just kind of treat this as a recipe book. Go through this entire list, use what you want, but essentially treat this as like your problem solving phase. Just attempt various solutions until you get to something that works for you. You don't have to go all the way to the version of getting a locked mode for yourself where you basically put your phone underneath your desk. You don't gotta go that far. I had to go that far, but maybe not for yourself. Anyways, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in more content like this, be sure to check out my video here of how I optimize my desk setup. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.